Abdelaziz Belmahdi, and I'm gonna present to you my petroleum geology project, which is a review about source rocks, their types, maturation, and we will jump right into it. So the scope for my presentation is the formation mechanisms of the source rock, identification of key sources, source rock types, influence of source rocks on hydrocarbon generation and migration. So to start off, let me introduce to you petroleum geology. A source rock is refers to rocks from which hydrocarbons have been generated and capable of being generated. They are one of the necessary elements of a working petroleum system. You can see here on the left side, the first arrows is the primary migration, and the dotted arrows are the secondary migration, and then it deposits the oil on top, the gas on top, oil in the middle, and water, in below. But source rock is where it all starts, and it has to have a good temperature and good pressure for the maturation to happen, which we will jump right into. So some of the favorable depositional environments are the anoxic conditions, which has lack of oxygen that prevents the decomposition of the organic matter, which will also prevent bacteria. Fine-grained sediments, shale capture and preserve organic material. High biological productivity, should have abundant organic matter is essential, and sufficient time for maturity, sufficient time, temperature, and pressure for maturity. So for some source rock formations, there are some marine basins which have high plankton productivity, which leads to organic rich sediments like the Kimmeridge clay formation in the North Sea and the Monterey formation in California. And then we have the lacustrine environment. For example, there are lakes and swamps contribute to organic matter. There's, for example, the Green River formation in Colorado and Mahakam Delta in Indonesia. And then some coal deposits that we have, which provide vast amount of organic material for source rocks, such as the Appalachian Basin in the US and Surat Basin in Australia. So for the types of the source rocks, we have type 1, which in organic matter, it's rich in algal matter, particularly marine phytoplankton and zooplankton. Its characteristics are that it has high organic matter, which is 20% or more, and it's prone to early maturation, generating oil at relatively low temperatures, and it's often associated with lacustrine and marine environments. Some example on type 1 is the Kimmeridge clay formation in the North Sea, the Monterey formation in California, and the Green River formation in Colorado. For type 2, the organic matter in type 2 is a mixture of marine and terrestrial organic matter, including marine plankton, algae, and terrestrial plant debris such as wood barks or leaves or anything. Moderate organic matter content from 5 to 15%. It should generate both oil and gas depending on the thermal maturity. More versatile than type 1, adapting to a wider range of geological settings, and it's commonly found in marine and lacustrine environments. For type 3, the organic matter is primarily derived from terrestrial plant materials such as wood, leaves, and pollen. Low organic matter generates primarily gas with little to no oil, requires high thermal maturity for it to generate hydrocarbons significantly, and it typically associated with terrestrial environments like swamps and coal deposits. 3 examples are the Appalachian Basin in the USA, Surat Basin in Australia, and Western Canada Sedimentary Basin. The influence of the source rock on hydrocarbon generation and migration is the burial depth, temperature, trigger thermal maturation, converting organic matter into hydrocarbons. These hydrocarbons, this organic matter, before it becomes hydrocarbons, it's called kerogen. Different kerogen types generate different types and amounts of hydrocarbon. Source rock maturity determines when hydrocarbon are generated and expelled. Thus, the migration pathway thus allowing the migration pathway to allow the hydrocarbons to move into the reservoir rock. And that was all for my presentation about the reservoir rock. Thank you all for watching.